The pain that you're feeling right now isn't random. The struggle to get up early, the discomfort of saying no to things that you deeply crave, and the anxiety of pushing yourself past what is comfortable. You think pain means something is wrong, that you're failing, that maybe this isn't for you. But what if I told you that pain is the whole point of this? That every moment of discomfort is building something within you that success alone never could. In the next 8 minutes, I'm going to show you how to transform your relationship with pain and how to find purpose in the struggle, and why the hardest moments of your journey are actually the most valuable. Here's the lie that we've been taught our whole lives. Avoid pain at all costs and seek comfort. If something hurts, stop doing it. If something is uncomfortable, find an easier way. And if you're struggling, something must be wrong. So we've been conditioned to see pain as the enemy. And that belief itself is destroying your whole transformation. Because here's the truth. Transformation is supposed to hurt, because that's where development happens. It doesn't matter if you're building muscle or you're learning something new, but the pain is the process where the change happens. So let's say, for example, you want to break an addiction. You're rewiring neural pathways that have been carved deep into your brain for years. The withdrawal isn't a sign that you're doing it wrong. It is proof that you're doing it right. So when you're building discipline, you're fighting against every comfortable pattern that you've established. So what I want you to understand is that the resistance that you feel isn't failure. It's your old self trying to survive. But we've been lied to our whole lives. We've been told that change should feel good all the time. That if you're doing it right, it should be easy. That the right path won't hurt. And I've seen it countless of times. I have noticed that pattern in my life a couple of years ago, right? You start something and then after time, you think, oh, this is too hard, or maybe I'm not meant for this, and then you quit. But I want you to understand that you're on the right path if you're feeling discomfort, if you're feeling pain. That's a good sign, because that means that you're growing. So what a lot of people do is they spend their entire life running away from the very thing that would set them free. So let me tell you what I've learned in the hardest moments of my transformation. So an example for this is phone addiction, right? Whenever I said I wanted to reduce my screen time, I remember I was 2 weeks into quitting my phone addiction and every fiber of me wanted to download Instagram again. But that pain taught me something very important. It is that I'm stronger than my impulses. I'm stronger than my feelings. And you are also stronger than your feelings. And the same thing with the gym. A lot of people limit themselves before they even hit their potential, before they even see what they're capable of. They already quit. They already say, nah, this is not for me. Maybe this is too hard. But you're already limiting your potential looking at it from this perspective, because you never get to see what you're truly made of if you always keep quitting just because you don't feel good. And I remember the same thing when it comes to my nutrition. When I saw everyone around me, eating junk food, they don't take care of their nutrition. It told me that I don't need to be like them. I don't need to fit in. All you need to do is glorify God with your temple and actually take care of the body that He blessed you with. And at the end of the day, every moment of pain was a lesson that I needed to experience. And that's why I believe reading books can be beneficial, but reading books alone won't help you if you can't actually do the thing that you're running away from. For example, if you want to wake up early, if you're in your bed at 5 a.m. and you choose to get up even though you don't feel good, that is discipline. But reading about it all the time and not taking action, that is just an illusion. Sometimes we like to talk about strength. We like to talk about changing our lives and doing this. But the only thing that matters is if you did it or you didn't. And when you're actually in that difficult moment, this is where winners are made. Because you have to decide whether or not you're going to keep going or you quit. So for real transformation, you're going to have to pay a price, and that is a lot of pain. Here's what most people don't realize. That pain that you're feeling, it has purpose. It's not random suffering and it's not meaningless discomfort. It's the universe testing whether you actually want what you say you want. Because anyone can say they're serious about their goals. Anyone can say, I'm going to lock in and level up my life. But only a few people actually do it. And that's what I realized. Your circle will become smaller when you actually start to level up. Because a lot of people, they just like to talk, but they're not actually serious about their transformation. But only the people who can sit with their pain and say, I'm going to change anyways, are the people who are actually going to win. And the pain is asking you a question all the time. How bad do you want it? Are you willing to go through the pain? Even if you feel like everything is dark, everything is falling apart, are you still willing to show up? And your answer isn't in your words. Your answer is in whether or not you're going to take action or you don't. So here's what changed everything for me. I stopped seeing pain as something to avoid, and I started seeing it as something that was building me into someone new. And I understood something very important. Every painful moment is a deposit into my future self. So whenever you choose the hard thing over the easy thing, you're not just accomplishing a task, but you're telling yourself that you're choosing your future self over your current self. And you're proving to yourself who you're becoming in the process. You're not just working out, you're becoming someone who keeps commitments. You're not just eating clean, you're becoming someone who values their future over their present comfort. And you're not just waking up early just to wake up early, but you're telling yourself that you are in control. So the pain is crucible and you are the metal being forged. And if I'm being honest, I was there too. I used to hate discomfort. I used to hate doing the hard thing first in the morning. I used to hate always choosing the things that were uncomfortable, until I actually learned that this is the only way to get to where you want to be. I realized the pain is the only thing that makes you different from who you used to be. The old version of you runs away from discomfort, but the new version understands that this is where growth happens. So my old version needed everything to be easy, but my future self knows that easy means being stagnant, and my old version would quit when things got hard, but my new version understands that this is where growth lives. So without the pain, I would have just been the same person with different circumstances. The pain transformed my identity. It made me realize that I'm someone who can handle hard things, someone who doesn't quit, and someone who is in control. And that identity shift itself is worth more than any physical transformation. Think about it like this. Every goal that you achieve is only temporary, and it isn't promised that it's going to be permanent. But the person who you become in the process, the person who loves pain, the person who seeks discomfort, that is something that no one can take away from you. So how do you actually find purpose when you're currently in the middle of a struggle? The first step would be you have to reframe the pain. We have to stop seeing pain as evidence that something is wrong, but we need to see it as evidence that something is changing. Whenever something hurts, always tell yourself and remind yourself that you're getting stronger and your old self is slowly dying. And that's why I'm so big on positive self-talk, because how you talk to yourself will determine whether you keep going or you quit. Language is everything, and that's why I believe having a positive attitude is super important. The second thing that I want you to do is to track the pain. Keep a journal with you. Every time you go through something difficult, just write it down. And this is how you're going to be stacking your wins, because a lot of the times people quit is because they don't have accountability. And you can keep yourself accountable if you write down your wins. This way, you're going to have more trust in yourself for the things that you already won that day. And that's how you build evidence that you are capable of handling pain. Because 6 months from now on, you have proof that you survived through it and it made you stronger, right? And that will be your motivation to keep going with those good habits. Step 3, ask what that pain is building. Every time you're uncomfortable, ask yourself this: what is this moment creating in me? Every painful moment is construction, and you're building a better version of yourself. And the fourth thing is connect that pain to your purpose. Go a little bit deeper and ask yourself why you really want to make this change. Whether you want to lose weight, you want to get a six-pack, or whatever it may be. It's not just about the goal, but it's about connecting that goal with a deeper purpose. Why do you really want to make this change? What is the real thing and the real motivation behind that goal? Because what I've realized in my own life is when you connect that deeper pain with a purpose, this is where everything changes. Because now you have a stronger reason to actually keep going. Purpose transforms pain from something you endure to something you now embrace. And here's what no one tells you about transformation. The pain doesn't go away. You just get better at handling it. Those things will become easier over time, but they will stay hard. But you'll be someone who does hard things on a consistent basis, and you stop running away from them. The people who transform aren't the ones who figured out how to make it easy. They're the ones who figured out how to embrace the difficulty that comes with it. Stop asking yourself, how do I make this hurt less? and start asking yourself, what is this pain building in me? And that shift in perspective is what separates temporary change from permanent transformation. So when you're in the middle of your struggle, when you're uncomfortable, when you're tired, when you want to quit, remember this: the pain isn't punishing you, it is preparing you. Every moment of discomfort is a deposit, and every struggle is making you stronger. Every time you push through when you want to quit, you're becoming someone new. So understand that the pain has purpose. So the key takeaway from this is your transformation isn't going to feel good most days, but it's going to be worth it. Not because just of what you achieve, but because of who you become in the process. So stop running from the pain and start finding real purpose in it. That's where real transformation happens. If you're ready to break your destructive habits and you want to lose weight and finally become the man that God called you to be, then DM me the word transform and let's run it up.